So whether you're an athlete viewing all the events that they've tested with Nexttesting, or you're an athlete who's viewing only a single event and comparing the max, average, and minimum values of comparing your values with the max, min, and average values of other athletes of the combine or the event, or whether you're an administrator or a coach, you always end up at the athletes compare page. This is what we call the athletes compare page. For when we have many events, you don't see the average, max, and min values. When we have a single event and a single athlete, we can show you the max, average, and min values. Or if you're a coach or an administrator and you're viewing a single event, you can see many athletes with the max, average, and min values for that single event. And as a coach, you can compare different athletes. You can select as many athletes you want, or all the athletes of that event, of that single event, if you will, and compare your athletes. So each athlete represents a single column. Each column represents a single athlete, and the section of rows here represent the test in question. So body comp section has these rows associated with it. You can hide it, you can show it, you can completely remove it for now, get it out of the way. You can get the body scan, the balance. So rows represent the section we've tested, and columns represent the athletes for a single event. So going back, the athletes compare page. So as an athlete, what can you do with an athlete compare page? You can hide certain events, get them out of the way, and you can focus on 3 events and see your progress. Or you can say, hey, I'm not interested in the body comp, get it out of the way, remove it completely. Same thing, I already know my athlete info, remove it. You can focus on the body scan, and you can say, hey, let's hide this athlete, hide the event, and focus on these 2 events and look at your numbers. Then maybe later on you changed your mind, you want to see all your data in a single screen, and you can bring back, you can show all the events, and you change your mind, you want to see everything, so you can click on show all and everything shows up. You can hide everything in one shot, so you can focus and say, hey, all I want is the grip, show me the grip. And then you realize, this event didn't have any grip tests, so you can hide it and focus on the grip for these, for the grip strength for these 4 events. And so it's very flexible in that it allows you to get rid of certain section. So I can show and hide stuff, but I can temporarily get rid of it by clicking on the X button here. So if I click on the X, we get rid of it temporarily, and you can always bring it back with the show all here. So if we get rid of these guys for now, and now we can focus on the grip strength, and we can see, well, how did we do chronologically. This is July 09, and this is September 2011. How did we do? If we look at peak force right, we've improved a little bit here, we've regressed, and then we've regressed a lot. So Mr. Steve Gibson, we has something to explain of why they've regressed a lot, but it's good information to see. Um, so we can get rid of the grip strength and see how did they do in the NTI. And if you can, the in September 2010 and September 2011, Steve Gibson did not do any skating tests. So let's go ahead and hide these two, and we can see the NTI in details. We can compare the result of previous events result with more recent event results. So in a nutshell, everything you need you can access from the athletes compare page. You can get a complete PDF report. You can get screen viewable or printable PDF report. You can get the one of each for the skating section only, for the non-skating off-ice section. So in a nutshell, as an athlete, you can do a lot with the athletes compare page. You can, if you've selected a single event and drill down, you can see how other people have done by comparing yourself with the minimum values, average values, and maximum values. So it's a good way to see how you've done compared to other who participated in this combine or who participated in this event, and then also as a coach or as an administrator, you can start comparing different athletes side by side. So each column represents an athlete, and for a certain athlete, you can see, hey, I see that they've tested with us in May of 2010. Let me see that result in here, so you can see it side by side. You can go back and hide it, so you can continue focusing on the single event. If you were to click on this, mind you, this is the May 2010 event, whereas we're focusing on the single event, so you can hide it. But every athlete's complete data is accessible to you from here. So if we look at Joe Hockey here, we can within few clicks get the history. So as a coach or as an administrator, we can get the history of everything that Joe Hockey has done with us, and we can shrink it back so we can focus on the single event, the August 2010 event combine. So what can you do? You have we're checking out 5 athletes. Let's see, how old were they? I wanna compare the athletes that I've selected, these 5 athletes, with the average max min of this combine. So these are Joel was the youngest athlete when he was tested, and the average was at 22.3, and we can see where everybody stands. If we go further down, we hide this section. We can see the balance value. Let's go ahead and compare. Now, mind you, balances are the lower values are the best values, so we can see how everybody did compared to the max value, the worst values, the average values, and the min values, the best values. Well, what about the Wingate? Did they do any Wingate test? No Wingate test, so let's get rid of it. Let's hide this guy and hide this guy, and we can go ahead and focus on any item we're interested in. So in a nutshell, this is what you can do with the athletes compare page as a coach, as an athlete. So this is it.